Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, Julie. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing as well?
I'm doing good. Good evening to you as well. So, Amanda is joining us from Nigeria. And Amanda is the executive director of STEMi Makers in Africa. Amanda deals with technology. So, we are going to talk about what is technology in a context of post-pandemic situation. So, Amanda, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. I look forward to a wonderful time with you.
Yes, so Amanda, do you want to tell our viewers about yourself?
Okay, yes. So, like Julie rightly said, I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and I serve as the director of STEMi Makers Africa. STEMi Makers Africa is a non-profit organization that focuses on addressing the leaky unemployment pipeline in Africa and strengthening women participation in STEM, as well as integrating STEM education in classrooms. So we do this because we want to equip Africa's workforce to be more competent and to be more experienced. So that's a little about me.
So I think that is a fantastic work. And Amanda, do you want to tell our viewers that, why did you choose what you're doing at the moment and what keeps you going? What's your motivation?
Okay, yes. So one of the things that, drove me into what I'm doing presently, it was because I was coming from an inherited and fragmented workforce. So a typical example is graduating from the university and hoping that you will get, one of your dream jobs, probably in the oil and gas sector, because, Nigeria is a petroleum country, producing country, and find out that 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, you don't have any job. You don't even have, even if it's as little as like an accounting job. So this, was as a result of lacking the technical skills and lacking the skills of the future. So ordinarily, the university was all plagued up with, theoretical teachings. There was no real life experience, no real life skills that was, impacted in us. And this affected me. But fast forward to 2017, when I got an opportunity to be trained by IBM on data science. And I started to explore wonderful technology fields that most people like me are not aware of, but exist. So it was not just enough to say, okay, you are being trained in data science, go get a 9-to-5 job. I thought to myself and said, why don't I rather train people and advocate for technology and STEM to ensure that young people can explore countless opportunities, whether remotely or whether physical, but to ensure that, they not only have these jobs, but they can make their life better. And that was what made me to begin STEMi Makers Africa. And I can tell you that the journey has been wonderful because we have seen lives being transformed. We have seen partners come on board. We have seen stakeholders and communities get involved because they know that the result is there and they should invest and, also be committed towards our cause. So yes, Julie, it's been a wonderful time.
So you talked a little bit about being in an NGO sector, but do you want to elaborate on why did you choose the NGO sector vis-a-vis 9-to-5 job, and what's future holds for you? What's your ambition?
Okay, so why NGO job? Why an NGO initiative? Well, NGO in Nigeria are mostly categorized as non-profit organizations. We didn't want to go out there and be all making profits. We know that there is a need, and now this need is also channeled to underserved communities. Now, communities who typically cannot afford good water, good road, food. So how can we monetize this? So we said, why don't we rather bring partners on board who understand the need of training people, equipping them, and bringing this to underserved communities or underrepresented communities to make their lives better. In Nigeria, sadly, we have this wealth gap. The rich is so rich, the poor is so poor, and there is no middle class per se. So it's about addressing this divide, addressing this gap to ensure that people can afford, basic things, and people, most importantly, can create solutions, from existing problems.
So during your work, do you have any memorable experiences to share with our viewers?
Well, I've had tons of memorable experiences. One of the experience I've had, is something that I used to envisage. I used to be a dreamer. I dream a lot. And some people say it's fantasy, but I don't think so. So, when I was very young, at the age of 6, 7, I usually scribble my signature on the wall. It could be on my mom's room or in the sitting room. And, when they ask me, I say, I look forward to seeing my signature on the Nigerian currency, like Nigerian notes, and it was because you get to see the director of operations, the signature on our Naira note. You also get to see the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor's signature on the Naira note. So, I used to have that passion because I said I would love to, delve into economics of Nigeria, and see myself one day in that position. I can tell you that the dream is still valid because, you never know what tomorrow brings. But the most important thing for me is that I cherish these memorable times and I look forward to seeing that happen, number one. And not only that, being relevant in whatever field or whatever status I am, I just want to be relevant. I've seen that happen now. My signature doesn't necessarily need to be on a Naira note, but I know that the impact that STEMi Makers Africa is bringing and is also giving is something that has our signature. So I think that has been a memorable and a fulfilling experience for me.
So let's talk about your ambition. Where do you see yourself? What future holds for you?
Okay, so I don't really know precisely. I know that the future is going to be bright. But another place I'm seeing myself is in the policy aspect. So I'm seeing myself alongside other young people to driving policies, sustainable policies in education, sustainable policies in innovation, sustainable policies in industrialization, because it's one thing to advocate for STEM education, it's another thing to have framework, like a general framework that can guide a country. So hopefully you'll be hearing from me soon on that.
Oh, that's fantastic. So since we are in March and we celebrate International Women's Day in March, do you have any advice for women around the world who are pursuing STEM education or working in STEM?
Yes. Oh, wow, Julie, that's a $1 million question. It's I've been so happy, because this year we saw that narratives were being changed. I will give you an example. Presently now we have a Director General of the World Trade Organization who is the first African and the first woman in the world to, take that position. Now, what does that tell me? It tells us that women can excel amidst any stereotype. Women can and should excel amidst any crisis. COVID-19 really took a toll on us. For example, we saw that there was a lot of social exclusion last year. But now I'm happy that women are breaking these norms. They are breaking these ceilings to ensure that they can dream it. If they can dream it, they can do it. So one good advice I will give women is take that risk. Take that risk. You may knock on the door now. The door may still be shut, or knock again. Keep trying. I didn't have everything all figured out. I also have my rejection times, but I also had my fun times too, and I also had my happy moments. So it's about keep being resilient. When you are passionate about it, no matter what anybody says, no matter what the economy is saying, or no matter what COVID is happening, you are still pushing it. So that's one good advice that I know has worked for me, and I believe it can also work for your wonderful audience.
So Amanda, happy International Women's Day to you and to all the women around the world. So if you're watching this channel for the first time, we have wonderful women from around the world who we celebrate their successes. In fact, we celebrate their failures as well, because unless and until you fail, you never can succeed. So thank you so much for being on this platform and giving us this interview. It's wonderful to meet you and hear about your views and what future holds for you. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yes, thank you, Julie. I look forward to listening to your wonderful YouTube and also encouraging young women to be inspired. So thank you so much.
Thank you.